What? What? What is he doing? Hello everyone! Finally the semifinals are here, and not just the semifinals. Also Bubbles and Phil the Scars are here to support me here today. Hey guys, how are you doing and are you looking forward to this today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Very, very hyped. We've got 2 sets of games, which is double the action, double the fun. I'm doing well.
It's gonna be a good long day. I'm gonna have some good matches. I'm excited, and I have a working camera now, so no more.
Yeah, that's the best part about it, right? Both having cameras, so we can also see the emotions after the matches, the shocked faces or the surprised faces. Who knows? Yeah, what are we going to see here today? France and China are playing the first match. And then Greece and Canada are playing the second match. We can take a look at the groups that have brought us to these pairings here today. So Greece won Group A and therefore facing second place Canada out of Group B. And China finished rank 1 in Group B and therefore facing France. Any surprises when you look at the groups? I mean, there's basically one that is really outstanding if we look at the bottom left corner, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it's fairly surprising though, right? Team Ukraine has some really good players. You know, you've got Koffe-Mark on there. Team USA has like Wheeler, Blue. It's got a pretty solid team. I think even Team Russia is pretty strong. And then obviously Team Germany was the highest expectations, and unfortunately for them, they didn't perform quite as well as we were expecting. But I mean, these things can happen. I certainly think it's no shame on them for their placement. I can't say I would have done any better if I was in their place.
Yeah, it just sometimes happens.
Yeah, and a lot of the matches have been very, very close, or even with an insane starting hand from or start from your opponent, and then in the different formats it's really hard to fight back. And yeah, sometimes you can't do anything. You can be the best player in the world, if your hand is not the best, you can't do anything. So today we hope the best players might have the best hands, so it's only decided by who's playing better here and not who's having the better hand. First match, France versus China. What do you expect, guys? Who's going to the finals here?
I think it's probably... Oh, so you go.
What?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it is a really tough one, because on paper, I think it's China just because of all the strong players they have. They have a lot of OCC experience, but I've learned to not expect anything here. France, extremely powerful, you know, performed very well in their group. So I generally have no expectations, you know. It's just whoever plays better here.
I think if I had to bet on it, I'd bet for China. I think they have a higher chance of winning. I know the Chinese players have been doing a lot of prep work and a lot of practice and committing themselves pretty hard to the Nations Cup. So I think they have both skill and preparation on their side. But I have no doubt that the French players have also done a lot of preparation, and we've seen they're very skilled. So it's entirely possible that they can take it. But I think I'm leaning towards China as well on taking this series. But I think it will be close. I don't think it will be a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, China is really committing to this. I think I also want to mention that they skipped the OCC tomorrow, the qualification for that, just to play in the Nations Cup or to be able to play tomorrow. And yeah, that's really a great thing that the Nations Cup is, in their opinion, ranked higher than the OCC. And yeah, really shout out to the Chinese community. And also they're always playing midnight, even on weekdays. So I think if they proceed to the finals, they earned it for sure.
Oh, for sure. They're definitely putting in the work, and they deserve their placement so far.
It shows that they care.
So in the semifinals, we will have the same format as we had in the group stage. So a best of 5 with the same format. Only in the finals we will have a best of 7. But for today, we will stick with the best of 5 format. And starting with the pauper format again. First match will be Patriarchal versus... Oh wait, we did not take a look at the teams. Ah, right. For France today. They just stick with the same lineup that they had the whole series so far. I think they had all 3 players in all 3 matches so far. So it's Patriarchal, Pat, and List again. And I think today against Shiner, it is very important that List is finding his first Nations Cup win here. Otherwise, it might be hard to beat China. And if we look, but also impressive, look at the win rate of Patriarchal here. 85% in 7 games. So he only lost 1. Very impressive. And for Team China today, we have Hui Hui, CCMS, and Fairness. No CC Collector, who did very, very well in the group stage. But also Fairness in the last... No, it was... When was it? On Thursday? No, on Wednesday against Russia. Getting his first win here. Very impressive team. I mean, the world champion, multiple times OCC champion. That's definitely a hard to beat team. And yeah, as I started saying earlier, for France, Patriarchal, the team captain, will start. And for China, it will be CCMS. And
yeah, I think they're both strong players. I think round 1, teams generally like to secure with strong players. I know there's a bit of logic to putting the weaker players in Popper because it supports, you know, lower collections and things a little bit more. But round 1 is such a nice round to win, just from like the moral perspective, where you have that moral high ground. You really boost your morale by winning that first round. I think it's pretty logical to put your strong players in for round 1.
Oh yeah. Open. Here we go. Straight to it.
there we go already.
Alright, I already see 2 Panzer Force. This is a retreat deck.
The question is Patriarchal bringing USA Germany as well, or has he opted for USA Soviet, which we've seen some people opt for?
Yeah,
An interesting pick, but very strong still.
Patrol is interesting. I doubt we're going to see that many powerful destruction effects, but it is nice removal.
It is Soviet. Some
and
sort of
winter warfare counteroffensive, yeah.
Oh, look at this. 463rd.
I like these guys. They're good for killing these chocolate infantry, but they're actually really nice for killing the California. Especially if you buff them up so that they can survive the hit. But if there's just the California in the front line, your 1-drop is going to do 2 damage to it when it trades. I think it's pretty weak on ladder, but in a popper format like this, where a meta is starting to show itself, I think they're pretty strong, and that free defense is pretty difficult to trade into as well.
Oh, look what Patriarchal is also having, the winter warfare. Killing all these.
I'm surprised we didn't see him play it last turn, to be honest. I think there would have been some logic to it. I guess he's saving it for the counter-offensive combo to make sure that he can secure a big buff on a unit.
Yeah.
Here's a card I haven't seen in a minute, Awoken Giant.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good card.
So I think both put answers against these chocolate boys in their decks. Oh, there's another winter offensive.
I think you should go for one of them at this point.
You can also go for Katyusha. Keep the winter offensive for... I mean, he's having 2. You're probably correct here. Just play 1, move that 1 to the front line.
The only concern of playing 1 is it does give lots of info away to CCMS, which is info he wouldn't have otherwise. If you hold it, CCMS probably have no idea that this is there. I don't think CCMS is going to play around it right now because there's no real way to expect it. And he's just going to go for 1.
There it is.
Yeah, I think you probably don't get more value out of it than he has now. Yeah, there's not a lot more 1 health units in the deck.
That is an excellent top deck for CCMS. Clearing the front line and leaving him with this large body on board.
Will he chance it with the Greyhound Katusha play? Oh no, you can't play that.
I think he'll just go for the Kyushu anyway though. Yeah, just try and start nuking it down. Unless CCMS gets like another Nebelwerfer or a patrol, it can be pretty difficult to deal with these Kyushu.
Just dropping Greyhound, getting the 1 credit in. Man, this
difficult turn here, yeah, difficult for CCMS to really.
A lot of retreat.
It's scary. Like if he gets the tempo here, like pit tracker, I don't know how he's gonna get units down. They're all gonna get bounced.
I think he's going to struggle to double bounce the Greyhound though. So if the Greyhound is buffed up in the front line, I don't think there's much you can do to bounce it to reset that buff. A lack of units on Petricle's side.
Ooh,
the
Sherman is
really
very
nice.
important. Yeah.
I imagine we'll see him patrol the Nebelwerfer and take out the First Marines. We may see him not move up the Kyushu, not the Greyhound, just to try and secure its life to set up the Sherman. But it is a bit of an obvious play, and it may actually cause it to get bounced.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that artillery.
Oh,
that movement was actually a good idea, right?
Yeah, that was really, really important. I imagine we'll see a Panzer come out. I think bouncing the Kyushu is a safe play. If he wants the Sherman now, he has to decide Sherman or Kyushu. He can't do both. He may go for the Kyushu since he has the second Greyhound.
I think he's going for the Sherman. But a Greyhound, second Greyhound to the front line, I see that play too. And he has 2 Greyhounds and can still play the Sherman next turn.
It also... Yeah, but he can't kill the Panzer, right? Even if it procs. Because he's not going to have the credits left to play patrol.
Yeah, I'd go for the Sherman. Just secure that draw right now. Oh, he wants to get that carry.
I don't blame him. I think it's a relatively safe play. Oh, the patrol from CCMS. Now, do you take out the Kyushu here, which is the obvious play, or do you go for the sort of more advanced play of taking out the both Greyhounds and cancelling out the Sherman play? I think if he notices this, if he spots it and goes for this play, I think it would be really, really quite huge for him. Unless Petrichor can top deck like another Greyhound, I see him struggling to take the front line and secure it this game.
Oh. I definitely think the taking out both Greyhounds play was better. We would have struggled to get any sort of draw, and he could have just taken out that Katusha next turn.
He could go for a big winter offensive into a big. There you go, winter warfare.
He is. And going face,
buffing it up. You get 6 defense and 11 attack.
And no Sunstrike, no Flampanzer. CCMS hand.
I think that's game. He can bounce it and he can move up to the front line, but your guys are guaranteed
to die.
He's not a guaranteed kill, sorry. Not on board. With the patrol in hand he is, but
oh yeah, it was not. Yeah,
CCMS,
the +2 attack was from the Greyhound being in the front line.
And he top decks a bloody sit.
But he even had a patrol, so
yeah. Wow.
Petrichor. We were talking about if someone can manage to bring aggro to Popper and Singleton, it could go a really, really long way. And here it is, Petrichor figuring out a sort of mid-range aggro deck that he can play in this and be consistent, or at least appear consistent with, is Winter Warfare buff deck. And it performed really well there. We were thinking, how's he going to win this long game? Is he going to play Shermans? What's he going to do to keep himself in the game? And instead of playing the long game, he said, you know what? I'm just going to make an 11-6 Greyhound and end the game. That works with me.
It's always funny seeing like the smallest 1-cost units become like the beefiest 11 attack or like the 9 attack bombers, and I'm like, oh man. You're not supposed to be
when your Tiger tank is getting taken out by an Al 640, and you're like, this doesn't feel historically accurate anymore.
Nah, they just hit the weak spot one time. Just hit the. They aimed right for the barrel, down the barrel.
Right down the barrel, yeah, like in the movies, you know.
Yeah, just have some fun, you know.
And then France taking game 1, which, as we said earlier, it does give them a morale boost over China. I think it's pretty. I think psychology is pretty effective in pretty much every single game, but cards especially, and I think it's going to. I think it's going to be important from China to put their most experienced player in the next game because they'll be least affected by the morale. And I think that's Huey. I think if I was China, I would personally go for putting Huey next. Because I do believe he's the least likely to be affected by being down 1-0.
Yeah, and it will be Huey playing for China next.
There it is.
I wonder if it's for the same reason or if that's just pure coincidence. They've gone for a completely different reason and just pure speculation.
You hack into their brain bubbles, you know exactly what's going down.
And I believe it is standard is the next format, correct?
Yes. Standard format, everything is allowed.
I think this is the least predictable format. I think Popper and Singleton have far more of their own little meta, which is easy to see purely based on what we've seen so far. I think standard, there's a lot more options. I think it's a lot more difficult to predict. It could be anything from sort of Jagro, Alpine to Brick Control or Catty OTK. I feel like it's impossible to predict what these players are going to bring. Probably Bridar, though.
If that Crusader OTK deck was still a thing, that would have shown up here too. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad that deck is dead. That deck can go to hell. I hated that deck.
Me too.
So...
There have not been many answers against that combo, right? I think it was only Sendai or Countermeasure. Not that many answers to that combo. I mean, Caddy OTK, I mean, one Blackwatch can slow them down and almost make it impossible to play that combo.
One careless, they're just done.
Yeah.
You can't out-heal it, though. You know, normally when you try and out-heal it, they'll have the... Oh, there you go, dude. Bridar.
Bridar, but unfortunately I do not have Pet's view here.
I'm in the Chinese team's heads, dude. I've got them psyched out.
You're gonna get like a threat message later, bro. Like, hey, yo, what's up? Hey,
That's an unfortunate start for Huey here.
Yeah, not a single airplane. That's how my hands usually look.
Yeah.
So where's my what is that hand emote?
Where is my hand? Yeah.
That's
where
that
the Lady Luck is not on my side. I always use that.
See, do you even bother with the alcohol here? I don't think you do. I think you set it up to die if you play it.
Who is this fast Heinz from Pat?
It looks like it. He could consider dropping it now, because then it sets up the air superiority to take out the 38T. Considering it here, yeah. I think he was just deciding, do I take it out or do I just pin it and save the air superiority? But with the amount of air units he's had so far, I think playing the air superiority where you have an air unit is very important. And we can expect Pad to not have a 35T unless he's top decked 1 cent because of how his turn 2 played out.
Oh, yeah. I feel like when you see an Albacore and then air superiorities, I think it's a bit of a desperate play this early on, so maybe Pad picks up on that.
Especially on turn 3. And the Albacore
Yeah.
comes out on turn 3. Now, he did get it on turn 2 and save it, which I think was smart, but I'm not sure if Pad would pick up on that, to be honest. And we can already see Hugh planning out his turn, in advance. This man is wasting no time. It is like midnight in China. He's getting it done as quickly as he can.
He's calculating his turns already. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he can't pre-move.
He's got turn 8 planned out already. He's ready on turn 8 right now.
He knows the exact units on board that Pat's gonna have. He's not worried.
It's how you gotta be. You've gotta be literally, 4 or 5 turns ahead. I wonder if we'll go for the he can go for the draw, and then he can go for the pin, and then he can hit face, or he can trade. The issue of hitting face here is you do risk letting Pad do a mass buff next turn, and then possibly getting this board going out of hand. I'm gonna go for the Monty.
The biggest worry here is that if Pat can get these units out of carpet bombing range, that's when it becomes scary, because usually carpet bombing is like the answer to like just clear everything. I'm not worried, but once they have 4 or more health, oh boy.
I mean, especially if they get 5 health, so that Albacore can't kill them, then it's even scarier. So that he's going to go for the trade here, and I think his logic is, if Pad goes for a buff next turn, I have this Wrath in hand, and I can bounce this Stug.
Ooh.
Panzer 4.
Speaking of bounce.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't expect that in Fast Heinz. Just that would. That's a curveball.
He can Albacore, pin the Panzer, play the Gladiator, and then go for the big buff with the Calm Before the Storm.
He's bouncing, giving it back.
I think the Gladiator is a really risky play. If there is one buff, it just dies for free. I assume he's running Burst of Fire in this deck, just because we've seen this air units operate for free. If he finds a Burst of Fire, he could potentially just OTK. If there's Dawn Operations, triple buff with the close air support. There's the Flan Panzer.
Ooh, and another Panzer 4 maybe?
Yeah, Pad really just answering whatever Hugh is putting down.
Look at Hui's hand, what is this?
It's just orders.
Pad opting not to go for the Panzer just
I
yet.
mean, the later this game goes, I mean, look at this hand. All that Hui needs at some point is one Hurricane.
That is
Hurricane,
true.
Dawn Operation, play all these close air support, finest hours, boom boom. How much does he need for that? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I thought this was Huey hovering over the cards. I now just realized it's you.
Yeah, that's me. I can just... Should I play?
Have you tested that yet?
No, this is not possible. No. I can also not end the turn. But I still don't want to click on it. Just
I feel like maybe Sexton and trade into one of the free frees is the move.
Yeah, probably.
But
that,
you could also try and start pressuring face, so that you can just kill him potentially with a sudden kill out of nowhere. Yeah, you're gonna go for the Sexton in the trade. I think it's a safe play. Obviously, the Sexton is pretty much dead. I'm surprised he didn't pin the Flampanzer, since that's the unit that can one-shot it. But I do understand the logic of pinning the guy in the front line.
Oh, we see Greif coming out.
Yeah, Pad's really starting to take control of this game. I think he desperately needs a carpet. If he can find himself a carpet bomb, he may just be able to scrape by this game.
Is he? You guys can't see the deck. Maybe he's running also the Empire Strikes.
That is also an option. Unfortunately, though, that'd only be 2 damage to him. And he could kill a couple units, but it wouldn't be as perfect as just a straight up carpet.
Yeah, he'd have to find more bombers. But man, It's just
How much can you do? Is it enough?
He's gonna go for it even if it's not enough, just for the sake of it. Now he can make both air units operate for free, and he can buff.
Ooh, that's so close.
14 plus 3, that is not quite lethal.
17. He's just
Yes.
1 credit short.
I'm gonna try to clear some units here with it instead. He does save himself.
That is unfortunate for Hugh. If he had went face for 3 damage instead of trading, which I think would have been the wrong move with the info he had, but if he had gone for this play, he would now have lethal.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Or if he had 1 more credit, lethal.
Yeah, 1 more credit would have been enough. Just 1 more of those.
Oh, and the auto cannon coming out.
And that's it.
That is it. Pad taking game 2, and China in a really rough position now. 2-0. You're 1 game from going out. Luckily, you do have Pure War and Singleton, which are a little bit slower. You can slow the game down and take your time. You don't have to worry about getting sort of destroyed by any meta ladder decks, but you're under a lot of pressure already. And France, maybe we should have bet on France.
Holy moly, what are we seeing here?
Look at this. China might be thinking, "Hey yo, can we go to OCC real quick?"
Yeah.
This is wow. Again, just don't expect anything. Look at this again. Predicted winners, on paper, China, but France. When you got a 2-0 lead against China, that's something else. That's.
So
I'm
I
just
think
trying to think.
for France, it has to be a list now in order to be able to win 3-0 here. And for China, Fairness is playing. So
essentially, all 3 of the Chinese players need to take it in turns to beat List to win this event. No pressure on List. His team's already 2-0. He's got plenty of tries at this. He can take his time. But this does mean that he has to play Pure War, Singleton, and Regular. I can't speak for their practice regime, but I don't know if they prepped him for all 3 of these events.
If they did, that's insane. Or this exact scenario, alright, we're up 2-0 scenario. They just have them all in the files, like, alright. Scenario 1, scenario 2.
I mean, I feel like there's a good chance China takes at least 1, maybe 2 games, but for them to take 3 games would be really, really difficult. I can see them taking 1 game. And there's definitely a world in which they take 2, but 3 back-to-back against 1 player, I mean, it's really, really difficult. That's essentially winning a best of 5 just without any losses. Just pure going in,
Yeah, straight.
And that is, it's not an easy thing to do.
Scary.
Do you think we'll see USA Germany for both teams here in this pure war? Do you think we're going to see something more interesting? Maybe the Soviets come out again?
I mean, it's always a happy day for me when I see Soviets. They're my favorite nation. But I mean, Alpine just kind of a little too good right now, It's not the funnest to watch, but
don't say that name. Don't mention it. Don't give them ideas.
They're watching the stream. They're like, all right,
no
what do they
Alpine.
want to see?
No Alpine.
Play some this pure war. What can we see? I want to see a British order deck, but without the orders.
A commander deck. You want to see commandos?
I want to see Commonwealth.
What about resistance? How about some resistance? You can just have the little infantry that add resistance to the enemy hand.
Oh, that's all you need.
And then here's what you do: you get that infantry, and then you get that Soviet tank, where when a unit dies, add it to the top of your deck, and you create another copy of these French infantry. And like slowly, you just loop it.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
Oh, it's an Alpine mirror.
Do you think it's Alpine? Not really.
Oh no, it's artillery. Oh, this deck
yeah,
was so
fair
scary.
enough.
I don't even. You know what? I take it back. I'll see the Alpine over this artillery. This artillery deck is just so in pure war. No orders to get rid of them.
Yeah, it did a lot of work against Russia. It felt really frustrating to play against it.
I
felt so bad.
wonder if List is playing a similar deck, or if he's just going straight Alpine. Because we've seen 2 Germany decks. And my first assumption was it's an Alpine mirror, but now actually we've seen one of them already as an Alpine.
It didn't last game or last time we saw this deck. It was against Alpine as well. Oh, and he gets
Pioneers. Yeah, it's a very strong turn 1. It means next turn he can howitzer and buff. Shaika coming out from the
what the? Okay, I don't know anything anymore. Every time I think I know, I get a grip of things, and then I see a Shaika come out.
Do you buff your howitzer, or do you play the Panzer and buff your Pioneers so that it takes the favorable trade, and then you can play your other Panzer next turn to buff your howitzer?
It
Oh,
would have been, yeah.
He's doing it. It's smart because then the Shaika dies when it trades, and then you can buff your howitzer again to kill the new one that comes.
Yeah,
I believe it's the Ice Shack is the replacement.
Ooh.
This game is getting interesting.
What the heck? Okay.
So it's 2 artillery decks, one with USA ally, one with Soviet ally. I think it's safe to assume he's running Kyusha, and most likely does this as well. So there's always the risk of blitz artillery from this. I think it'd be smart from Fairness just to buff his artillery and trade into the AT gun. And then that way, when this Ishak trades into the artillery, it dies. There's a bit of an issue in Fairness, which is the issue that he's playing an artillery deck and he's only got the 1 artillery. And his only draw requires Liz taking the front line, but Liz is also playing artillery. So the chances that he's going to take the front line aren't actually that.
I wonder what Liz here is thinking. But I wonder what the win condition is going to be for Liz, because I feel like Soviet artillery really relies on those orders. But again, you know, we ain't gonna see any of those around anytime soon. Although there is a Wilbur win here. I wonder he's gonna try proccing the. Oh my god, the names are always fading me at the worst possible. I can name these cards at any time except when I'm on here. Enemy spotted. Thank you. The worst times every time.
I think it'd be smart to go for.
Ooh.
Just gonna tap face for 1. Doesn't want to move anything else to the front line. Probably hoping a Nebelwerfer comes out here, or a Kyusha, so that Liz can secure the front line for himself.
Yeah, unfortunately we cannot see list hand. That's a little bit. But somehow it's always with these French players that it's not working with sharing the screen. I don't know why. They don't like to play in full screen mode.
They like windowed mode, perhaps.
Yeah, and even then I'm not seeing it. But,
This is a difficult situation for Fairness. I feel like there's some logic to just playing the Jag Bomber and not worrying about the enemy spotted this.
Not the worst, but will you get a chance? The unfortunate thing about enemy spotted is that it has to be the first unit, it has to be them taking the front line. That, you know, rather than enemy, not the other one, the missing will hit any unit regardless if the enemy already has the front line or not. So it can be procting it later in the game a bit difficult. See.
I mean, Fairness putting up a pretty good fight for China so far.
The bounce war has started.
And he actually has a lot of ways of taking out that Hummel right now. But I'm curious if instead of taking up the Hummel, we see him drop the FW and proc the enemy spotted, hoping that Liz moves up to the front line. Either that, or he can play the SD, he can move up a tank and one of these one guys and just trade into that, no problem. He essentially has to make a decision. Do I want the front line or do I want to...
He's choosing for front line here.
Yeah, I think it's sensible, because he's got the in the Navy, so when Liz goes for a value trade here, it's not going to be a value. It is slightly obvious, because he's floating 1k, but he has been floating 1k for a long time already.
Why did he not move the engineers to the middle?
That's what I was thinking.
Because then then the tank wouldn't hit for 4.
Oh yeah, it would have been only 3.
He needs his tank.
Yeah, as DK said, only gives adjacent unit. Okay, yeah. I see that point. Yeah, absolutely. I mixed it somehow with the Type 93.
There he is. Fell for the in the Navy.
Probably had no other play there.
He may just drop this Panzer out and use this to... Go for the AT, yeah, and the Nebelwerfer. I imagine we'll just see him bounce this AT gun instead of trying to trade into it, and then he'll trade into it with the Jag Bomber when he feels comfortable. He can then also, instead of doing that, he can think about Nebelwerfering and taking out this...
I like to bounce the AT gun and then trade into the Nebelwerfer. I think
that's smart. Yeah. And look, you can set up the enemy spotted as well. And Liz probably thinking less about enemy spotted right now, but more about this second in the Navy, because he's already seen one come out. When 1k was last voted, that's what it was. So he may be considering this as an option for Fed.
I wonder what Liz got in his hand. It's just the hand of surprise at this point.
I'm also so excited to see what it is, but
can't wait to see the Leopolds come out then. That's the cherry on top of this match. It's a 3-out.
I mean, the advantage of hitting with the 3-out is if there is it in the Navy, then it trades into it anyway.
Here we go.
Hey, there it is. Enemy spotted. And just completely refilling Fennis's hand. This Condor may go a really long way this game.
But first of all, the Villand has to get out of the way.
Well, you can Nebelwerfer the Whirlwind. You can trade your fighter into that AT gun, and then you can start setting yourself up for plays next turn. As long as you put the Nebelwerfer next to this Engineers, then it's a pretty difficult trade for Liz to trade into with what he's got on board right now.
Yeah.
Up can take the front line.
Yeah, I think that's smart as well. It just secures your artillery a little bit more. It does mean he can't put down the howitzer this turn, but I think it's still a pretty sensible play.
Oh yeah, no.
Doesn't have to worry about equals as well, so you can put more stuff down.
Oh, he's just gonna keep buffing this Nebel.
My god, look at it. 6-2 artillery. It's such a glass cannon, it's just...
I mean, there are no orders.
Exactly, yeah. He can go wide. He can go big on one unit. Like, there are some things here and there that can take it out, but...
This needs a Flampanzer or anything with 3 attack that can get rid of this Greyhound and still attack with Panzer 3.
Sure, the Panzer 3 would die, and then you can just go into the FW and the howitzer. I feel like even if you kill this Nebelwerfer, this enemy spotted from Fairness has really put him in quite a solid position where your value, you can value trade into him. All the trades are going to be high value for Fairness and low value for...
And just the hand, like you mentioned, the Condor here is gonna give him so much value regardless. Oh. Oh, Comet. But it always hurts to leaving this.
Spending 6
Well,
credits to get rid of a
Yeah.
1/1.
And Fairness can actually put a lot of pressure onto Liz's face here. I think he can put down the hack and the hack in the pack, the Howie in the pack, and not have to worry about them dying, because if Liz wants to spend 6 credits trading, well, you know, that's okay. You're gonna... Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no.
There's the
Nobody can get rid of
button.
it easily. Nebelwerfer
Oh, yeah.
Kondo.
Yeah. He doesn't even need to Condor, a Nebula, right? He can
You
fast
can
it.
use the pencil 2C, correct.
And then he can put
Yeah.
down... I think you go Howitzer and a pack, yeah.
So he's having almost the same board like that he had last turn.
Not much has changed here, and
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Kondo
it's
is really a
nice.
nice addition to this deck to get rid of the Leopold.
the Blitz, that's super strong here, and wow, again, I'm not seeing a good way for List to get out of here, just with how much Fairness has developed, and List not having any orders to get rid of any of this is just, I don't know. He ain't getting out of this. Second Leopold somehow, I don't know. And he'll just lose it again. Wonder.
I mean, J King mentioned it earlier in chat. I mean, I think Canada also leaded 2-0 against China, wasn't it? And China almost did a comeback there.
It's never impossible.
So yeah, it's not over until it's over. And ooh, what is this? T-34. So it's Poland ally.
It's the Soviet ally. It's just
It's Soviet ally,
exile.
and it is an exile unit. Yeah, absolutely, you're correct. We saw the Shaika earlier.
Really thinking here. Doesn't want to make any mistakes at this point. Still, well, even when you're in a comfortable position, you don't want to try to be as optimal as possible. Choosing to just get more board presence, more artilleries onto the field. Now we do know one of the cards that List's having right now is a Comet. Yeah, it's not doing anything for him right now. So with the information we have, it's just looking really, really tough for List here, especially with his Leopold already out of the question. The good thing, at least for the moment, is that most of these artilleries are only doing about 1 to 2 damage, so not the most damage in the world, but if he leaves them on the board for very long. We see right here the easy trade for him. Down the line with the naval warfare. Okay. Wow, okay. The bounce there really coming in.
I was just looking if we lost bubbles here. But he's deep into the match, I think.
He's deep. He's analyzing every comp.
Just thinking. I mean, how does List climb out of this?
Never ever. Now when Leopold is gone, I think there's no way.
You've been doing a good job so far, taking care of the threats one by one, but it's just when Fairness can put down 2 more for every one you take out, you're gonna run out of resources.
This Germany USA deck from Team China looks so powerful. I'm surprised we've not seen it in Poker more as well. I know it's not as strong, but I think it's still very good.
Yeah, I agree.
In pure war, it seems almost unbeatable. Even with a relatively okay start from Liz and the Leopold coming out. But even this T-34, I don't think it's going to make much of a dent in the game. I think Fairness can just completely overrun Liz at this point. He can bounce the Jag Bomber. He can trade his Jag Bomber into that T-34 if he wants. He's got a lot of options on how he plays this game. And I think all of them leave Liz in a difficult spot. He's just going to go for the face pressure. He's got this bounce.
Let's see a Wesp.
Yeah, can chuck down the Vesp. And what can you do here if you're Liz? You can buy a turn, right? You can put down the T-34. You can trade into this tank that removes the bonus attack from the Vesp. And you can trade your Jag Bomber into Fairness's Jag Bomber. But all you're doing is buying time. And if Fairness top decks a tank, you're dead.
It's just buying time at this point. Again, I'm not seeing how he's going to get out of it. And even, like I said, buys him a turn, and he still has to deal with another Wisp. It's... yeah. Probably going to go for the play you mentioned, Bubbles, unless he just top decks something insane. We see him hovering over right here. A Katusha.
No.
Oh.
Does not get it.
Oh, he left it to the 50-50, and now the clock's coming on, ticking away at him to see that, hey, you didn't get the 50-50, hurry up.
Hurry up. Die faster.
Trading into the Vesp is surprising to me.
Comment.
Because if you take out this guy in the front line, you reduce 2 damage from the Vesp and 1 damage from that. You take away just as much damage. But you also kill a guy in the front line, which is arguably fairly important.
I will turn to go face here. Or
I
mean, at least one has to, take out
he
the
has to take at least that one out.
Liz, Fairness may have put himself into a fairly difficult position here. Going very all in now. But he only needs a little bit of damage, and he has this game. And Liz has a lot of problems he has to deal with. But if Liz can clear this wave, he's in a good spot. But he has to take out one of these artillery. The Kyusha can take out the guy in the front line. He's got a T-34 for this other 99th. But how does he reach the support line and start clearing these artillery?
I mean, oh yeah, yes, he's having 3. I see, yeah. He needs to get rid of one of these 2 and this one.
Yeah. A Nebelwerfer would be beautiful for him. He does have this comet, right? But
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. And even
Whoa, what the?
That's a turn bought.
Is he gonna play? He's probably.
He's
like
got
what's he looking for? Like, does he know?
Oh.
Condor.
Oh wait.
But he still has 2 damage from the.
What was
top
that?
Unit. He's got to take out this guy in the front line, but then he's still dead.
Yeah, he's still dead.
Why did he not go for that?
Yeah, you're right. He could have not been dead.
He still has the T-34, right?
What?
Yeah, but he's not got credits, but he could have survived. If he takes out the tank, that Vest becomes a 1-3. He takes out the guy in the front line, the 2-3. He leaves himself on 1 health, and it's really difficult for Fairness to finish him off. I think...
oh no!
That's a pretty big blunder from Liz, and I'm not gonna, you're not gonna be harsh on the guy. It's an easy thing to miss, but that is that's not what you want. I do believe if he'd played that properly, there's a strong chance he wins on 1 health that game. We're talking about Germany, USA. they don't have much HQ hitting blitz, and once you've got a couple fighters on the board as well, you stop this this blitz 1-2 bomber hitting your face. Comet is the only thing really which would kill you there.
Yeah.
So that's an unfortunate game, but he's still got 2 more attempts at it, and China is still very much on the back foot this series. So yeah, not the
Went
end
out
of
of his mind. That was insane. You know, just staying alive for that many turns, having to calculate exactly how to stay alive with the credits he had, with the cards he had. Let's just hope he didn't use all of his brain power there, because like I said, he still got a game, 2 more chances here.
I'm concerned if he loses this next game, the pressure may start building up on him.
He cannot play again the next match, Bubbles.
List? But doesn't List have to win for them to
No,
win
no,
this
he just
game?
has to play. It's not winning.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood the rules.
Yeah, no problem.
I thought all 3 players had to win.
No, all 3 players have to play.
No, yeah.
So for France it will be TheArticle, and for China it will be CCMS.
That changes things a bit.
That does change things a bit. That changes my understanding of what's going on. But this is suddenly just got a lot easier for France.
I thought it was like in the group format. That's when it was like 3 players. And when Bubba was saying the list has to play, I thought, oh, do they change it for semis? And I'm like, I'll just go with it. I'm not gonna question it.
You should have questioned it.
I wasn't sure, you know. I'm like, did I miss something in the rule? You know?
Ooh. So we're in the singleton format now. Only 1 copy of each card is allowed.
Yeah. And we already get a lot of info from CCMS.
That is looking really interesting.
I like this, though. I like what we see so far from CCMS. This looks like if CCMS gains the upper hand, it may be difficult for Petrichor. Although Petrichor has a turn 1 Pioneer, so... Yeah, in singleton, seeing a turn 1 Pioneer...
So 1 out of 39.
It's the saddest thing ever.
Like...
Gonna opt for moving it to the front line, get some card draw instead of going for the infantry. I think that's a sensible play. So it takes us a couple turns to kill.
Yeah, there's not a lot of turn 2 options to just get rid of this. Although here we go, he's getting CCMS getting his permanent ramp though.
Yeah, the permanent ramp. However, I feel like the advantage gained from Petrichor already is more impactful on this game than the permanent ramp, you know. This is the thing. People talk about this ramp not being permanent, but it doesn't matter. If it's already given you the advantage, then it really doesn't matter at all. Like,
as long as the credits get used?
Yeah. As long as you use the credits and you give yourself the upper hand, like... CCMS is very much on the back foot already. And it's far from game. There's a lot that can be done. But it doesn't matter that it's not permanent ramp, because you've already given yourself such a huge advantage. Really, really wanting his Stars and Stripes right now, CCMS, but unfortunately just not having. We may see him go for the Panzer out to the front line. It's a pretty strong body to have up there. We may also see him go for the Panzer draw to try and find some solutions.
So, wow.
What is that board already here?
Special delivery.
Oh, and a raw Stuke here.
That's a brave play. It's going to set up the priest from Petrichor. As long as he wants the priest, he can get it here. Can also go for the troll.
What is that?
Yeah, I feel like Panzer out the front line would have been the value play from CCMS. What do you do now if you're CCMS? You're in a really difficult position. Obviously,
which it's because CCMS is running kind of like a ramp type of deck, but again with only one card.
These are 3 good options. You want all of these. You don't want to get rid of any of them.
You don't want to put them at the bottom.
He can get the Avenger soon to take out that trop, but the concern is, well, CCMS is looking for solutions to get himself out of this situation. Petrichor is adding more problems for CCMS to need solutions to.
Oh yeah, and again, it's a lot of these big cost units or big cost orders that you don't want to be playing right now.
Ooh, Pursuit. How much damage?
It could
oh no, it's not enough.
Bounce something, make him overdraw, and then just kind of go ham with his trop here.
Can also go 35T maybe, yeah.
I do like CCMS's deck, but you really need to have the advantage for this sort of deck to work. Once you have the disadvantage, unless you get like a Leopold, you're kind of screwed. And I think we're starting to see that.
How does he get rid of this drop right now? Oh, you got the carrier covered.
Yeah, he's just going to return it to the hand. And I imagine we'll see him double trade and put down this this countermeasure to take out the drop as it comes down again. But he's getting really low on health. And he's in a really difficult situation. And even if he can clear this wave on board, look at Petricle's hand. He's got to clear more. I think this is starting to look like France are taking it.
Oh my god.
That's what it catches. And he's got this 101st Airborne, 2 damage to face as well.
CCMS can clear the board?
He can clear the board, indeed. He's got multiple ways of clearing the board as well. But is he going to be able to establish himself enough to keep him in the game versus these first Airborne or this bounce in Petricle? I feel like it's difficult to keep yourself established on the board when there's this much bounce on the side of Petricle.
He's having 1 week can do it, so he can just heal back to 6. But will this be enough?
You essentially have to take no more face damage from any, because you can tank the first and you can tank the strap bomb when it shows up, but then you have 1 health. You can't tank anything else. So you have to take no more units. Petricle throwing out the I like your style, just so you know.
So well played. Oh man, being on the back foot already.
A lot of options for Petricle, but he wants to get the most value out of his stuff. I feel like first Airborne may be the way to go here.
And he could pursue this, can he? Does he have enough? No, he doesn't have enough credits, man. I'm thinking all these plays, not even enough credits. Because if we can get that 101st Airborne to the front line with ambush, that's...
Ooh, Red Devils is good here. And also that Stück with smoke screen on it.
Nice.
Oh,
4-4
Schwalbe incoming, Schwalbe incoming.
Oh, he doesn't need it right now.
He even found the Sky Barons.
I think you've got to go for the Barons here, honestly. It's such a good value turn. I feel like it'd be silly not to just go.
Does he draw from this, I wonder? Admiral Hipper? Is he just gonna go for your health here?
I don't know if Petricle spotted this, but it's worth noting. Petricle can drop first, and then retreat his own first and get this deployment effect of 2 damage twice. Pursuit can be cast on friendly units. So he can drop it, and then if he wanted to, he could pursuit it back to his own hand and get another 2 damage out of it.
Oh. That's the big brain play there.
He can go here from CCMS, he can Condor, take out this guy, and then he can hit with the other guy and not take any more face damage. And no more option of the South Pursuit to get an extra 2 face damage to try and set up this Strap Bomb lethal for later in the game. He's going to need some Blitz units here from CCMS.
There it is.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Oh, that's not enough!
No!
That's not enough!
No!
What is going on with France here? What are they doing?
He was 1 up. I'm like, okay, next turn he has it, but he didn't even let me say what the... Oh no.
Oh no, that was his only one.
Still has to secure the front line. There's still a whirlwind of the combat engineers.
Yeah, but it's only 3 damage.
3 damage still.
Oh.
It is only 3 damage, but it does set up the strap bomb, right? It means if you ever find a strap bomb from Petricle, you have game. But still, that is a huge blunder there from Petricle.
With that 4 credits, he could have bounced the Condor.
I thought he was just going to whirlpool to the front line. I just thought he was going to whirlpool and tap face for 2 and just set up the pressure, you know.
Oh man.
Oh man, he got a little excited there. He's like, "Yes, we're gonna beat China."
So a little bit excited.
Oh, there it is. There's the
okay, the top deck saves him here.
Can't misplay yourself out of that one.
Still though.
First, the one with the first
excitement there. He got
the
excited.
one from Liz, and then he was too excited, right? Oh wow,
Yeah.
top deck.
France,
Okay.
Team France knocking out Team China, right?
Not out, but yeah, they're not in the finals. They have to fight for rank.
Knocking them out from the finals.
Yeah,
sorry.
they have to fight for rank 3
And
tomorrow.
Credit to Team France, right? For
I mean-
little misplays aside, they've done well this event. They've done well in the Nations Cup so far.
Yeah, very
I think
impressive.
they certainly did better than France in World War II did. They certainly proved themselves. So yeah, a lot of improvement since then.
Good stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, they've been practicing since since the 1940s.
Just a few years to improve.
Just a couple years, yeah, to try and get the strategy out, and I think China was a strong team that had the skill and they put in the preparation work, and still Team France were able to best them fairly decisively as well.
Oh, very.
It probably would have been a 3-0 if it wasn't for the unfortunate mishap, we'll call it. The unfortunate mishap from Game 3. But it does make me think that France is playing really, really solidly, and they really have a good understanding of what's going on and like the meta around this event, because they proved themselves well with it, and I think judging them off their nothing but their performance, they have a solid chance at taking the finals. Like I think they have a real solid chance right now of taking first place and getting that spicy card back.
Very much so.
Not just that, but also $300.
Oh yeah.
You can't buy the card back, Spooz. You can't buy the card back.
Yeah, that's correct. You can have all the money in the world, but you cannot buy that card back.
You can be Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't got the card back though.
Elon doesn't have the champion card back. Say what you will about him, but he doesn't have the card back.
I mean, you can buy 1939 and then just
You probably could. Yeah.
order it to them. Do it. Give you that card back.
Do it.
Okay.
I want my account to have all the card backs. No, I was saying the finals I would love to see is France versus Greece. That would have been insane finals. And it's very possible here.
And that would be a rematch, I believe, correct? Greece versus France is a match we've seen before. They were in the same brackets together. So it would be the rematch of France versus Greece, which I believe Greece took that series. And I seem to remember Zilda getting some pretty lucky plays in that match to carry his team.
Good old Zilda.
Yeah, that was very surprising first match here for today, but you already talked about it. Next one is Greece versus Canada. And
2 matches.
We will also take a look at these teams. Kowalski with... Kowalski, yeah. Greece with Kowalski, Zilder, and Georgios Espinoza again in the house. Also impressive win rate here of Kowalski, winning 5 out of his 6 Nations Cups matches so far. That was basically the team the last 2 matches, so they found that it's working this way, and so they stick with these 3 players here. And for Team Canada, we have J King with impressively 17 games with a 76% win rate. And Birdo Burrito and Comtrues filling up that team. Yeah, what do you think of that match? Who's having the edge here?
I don't think there's a weak player in either team here. I think if we go purely based on player skill, I think Canada has a bit of an edge. But we've seen that individual player skill doesn't mean team winning, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
I hate to put salt in the wound, but Team Germany, I think, probably had the highest individual player skill out of any team here, and well, we saw how that worked out. It didn't work out so well for them. So I think there's more to winning a team event like this than individual player skill, and I think based on that, Greece as a team I think Greece as a team might have the edge over Canada, even if Canada as individual players have a slight edge over Greece. It could go either way. I mean, we were predicting China to be the stronger team, and France just steamrolled them. So I do think our predictions are fairly meaningless in this sort of environment. I feel like we don't know almost as much as we think we do. We're fairly wrong about most of it. But I do think when it comes to team play, I think Greece might be slightly higher. I think Greece have the advantage as a team.
It's been showing. I mean, we just, like you mentioned, just had a perfect example of, on paper, China should have won, took in this with their top players, but France taking it out. And like you mentioned, just the teamwork that Greece has been putting in and popping off. And, well, I mean, only time will tell here who's going to win. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than just like, man, I can't wait to see, and let's just watch these matches, see what happens. Just instead of predicting, let's just see what happens.
I think it should be a good series either way.
Oh yeah, regardless.
Kowalski versus Canada, I believe it was, according to Spooz. Those are the team names. Greece has renamed Greece has been renamed to Kowalski country.
Oh wait, I have to do the scoreboard here. Wait.
Just because of his performance in the Nations Cup.
France destroying Team Greece. They've ambushed.
So wait. There we go with this. There we go with that.
So we got J King versus Kowalski game 1 here.
It's on France still, by the way. It's not on
It's changing it.
I wasn't sure if we'd left.
And I don't know if you were able to catch that, but it's the most annoying thing where in Mulligan you get rid of one card and you draw the exact same card, and it just happened here to Kowalski, redrawing this 152 howitzer.
Although this 152 is very good against J King's deck. It's very good against these chocolate boys, and it's very good against these artillery that like to sit in the support line.
But yeah, and he's not worried. Oh, he's just gonna take it out now, or is he gonna wait for J King to use the credit, move into the front line?
I would honestly take it out now, because then you've got 4k next turn. You can drop your howitzer if you want. I think the credit efficiency is worth it here. You are being efficient with 2 credits, while it only wastes 1 of J King's credits, and I don't think it would affect how J King would play his turn much, to be honest.
It's not gonna change too much here. Yeah, you're right.
Ooh, I like to see that one.
Yeah, it's good. But next turn he's going to have to go for this sudden strike anyway, I believe.
Ooh, and the hammer.
Does he attack? Is he going to save this hammer for something else then? Because
I think
he's planning on using the hammer.
I would think about sickling as well. There is logic to saving the sickle, but there is also logic to just cycling where you can and trying to find some more solution. I imagine we'll see the howitzer. Like, look at these chocolate boys. You kind of have to howitzer here.
Oh, it sounds like Eagle Claws now.
Yeah, I don't think you Eagle Claws. I think. Ooh, he's going for the Eagle Claws. I feel like there's logic to saving it for artillery. Although playing it now does stop the Sherman play. So maybe it's the correct play to just go for the Eagle Claws and stop the J King just going to go for the Hummel. But we know this is just going to get hammered. Kowalski is going to have to be careful of how many artillery he puts down because of this Stars and Stripes. It will essentially clear any amount of artillery in his support line so long as there's multiple. I'd like to see him move it to the front line. I'd really like to see AT to the front line and
I
drop
think he's thinking about it, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, yes. Kowalski, you led.
More than anything because of the ambush. Anything with ambush in the front line?
In ambush and it's Stars, right? And the potential Eagle Claws to J King's run.
Oh, and he just passes.
I would move up the other AT gun. If your AT guns are in the front line, they're safe. Just keep moving them up.
Do it.
Yeah, just move it up, and then they're safe. Nothing can hurt them.
Do this, play the howitzer.
There it is. Oh my.
Look at this.
I like it. Where's this game going here?
Hummel. Oh man, he
That
can
Hummel will
put
just
down
die.
35T. Yeah, but it's not gonna go. Oh man. So
Dropping
game
that
one and
howitzer.
seeing this.
You can't
Bouncing
even
it, yeah.
Ooh, but
Kowalski can take out this Hummel here. I don't think you have to worry too much about this 35T. What's it going to do? It's going to hit something with ambush.
Yeah.
You can nibble over, double hit and sickle and take out, not necessarily in that order, you go for the sickle first, and then you can take out this Hummel.
Oh, or you just take the Eagle Claws, huh?
Oh,
he can nibble Eagle Claws. He can
or you could just
use
save
one
the claws. You could just save the claws for when you feel pressured, right? You're not under pressure right now. Why waste it?
And again, he's not stressing about this 35T. Oh man, we see it.
He was gonna go for the trade anyway as well.
So I want that thing super dead.
That eager
Super
to kill
dead,
it.
yeah.
Oh, we see a
Control.
control.
I think Kowalski realizing that if these artillery in the support line, it's actually really difficult for Jaken to deal with them. So I really want to see this Nebelwerfer go to the front line. Just commit to them.
Oh.
He's leaving the board that way. The problem with the Nebelwerfer is it's not having ambush.
Yeah, that's
So it can
right.
easily get taken out by 35T.
He's had the presence of mind to not play the 845th, though. He realizes that the Stars and Stripes is a strong possibility.
Also, this is also dealing damage to your own units here.
Yeah. You use this when you're behind, not when you're ahead. When you're ahead, you're pressuring your opponent already. And when the board is even or you're behind, you drop these, and your opponent have to reach an artillery, and then they get AoE'd when they reach the artillery.
Oh god. Jaking do here.
It's just rather unfortunate.
Cannot even drop the Panzer IV, it's just dying to this anti-tank gun.
Everything here. All because of a little 2-cost artillery in the front line.
Yeah, and I feel like for Kowalski, it's got to be so mentally rewarding to see a Stars and Stripes. And you just think to yourself, I knew it.
I knew it. I did everything correct there.
And look, he's even got the 40-second rifles now, so he can start applying a lot of frontline pressure. I imagine we might see the 40-second rifles and one of these howitzers come out now, because their howitzers are pretty safe. Obviously, we know he can Nebelwerfer Stars and Stripes, but I think you don't mind too much. He's still just going to hold on to them, feeling no pressure to drop them yet.
Yeah, but because you don't want to deal 1 damage to your units, and then the opponent is having a chance to kill the units with the Nebelwerfer on his side, so better let him at 2 HP.
He's just not under any pressure, right? He can take his time. Although J-King can half-track and Panzer here, he can double bounce.
He's probably waiting for the Panzer IV Stars and Stripes combo.
True.
He's
that
doing
is
it next turn for sure. But there will be not much left in the support line on Kowalski's end next turn, huh?
I mean, if you bounce one of these units, you can potentially get it where Kowalski has 4 units in his support line. But I don't think Kowalski will let it get to that situation. I'm pretty sure he has the game awareness to realize that is a potential and not let that happen. J-King getting down a 5 HP artillery, which is actually pretty darn tanky and mildly difficult to deal with. But we do know that there's a T-34 now for Kowalski, and he can just run this up.
Speaking of ambush in the front line.
Another one.
I like that he really has played around his support line beautifully this game. He's been super, super careful about it. And even if you Panzer push back this AT gun into Stars and Stripes, just the tempo and the value Kowalski's gained by being smart around how he plays this. I feel like Kowalski's deck has the better matchup, but Kowalski was able to give himself an edge, and he was able to hold on to this edge for most of the game, where only now, on turn 11, has this AT gun that came out on turn 2 and turn 3. Both of them are now dead. They've gotten so much value. I think we're going to see these howitzers come out. I think time is calling for at least one howitzer to come out.
I think he's dropping both.
Yeah, he's seen both Stars and Stripes now, right? So it's a safe play now.
Yeah, also if J-King is doing the value trade with Panzer 4 into the 42nd, even if both howitzers die, then his Panzer is also dying.
Yeah. And Patrol here can take out one of these artilleries in the future. He can set up the trade, but it just sort of I don't know. It removes this destruction effect, so you have no way of playing around this to your advantage now, right?
Yeah, it's just a tight spot, and all I can say is Kowalski's now my favorite player of the whole Nations Cup. Right, 42nd rifles right here. That's that.
Your favorite card, huh?
Favorite card. I'm super happy. This brings joy. The fact he's winning and he has a 42nd in the front line.
I mean, this is the thing for Jake. Even if he clears everything on board, right? You've got to be on more than 2 HP. If you're on 2 HP, these artillery death effects actually kill you. Going face for one.
Oh,
look at
that's lethal.
Oh, Kowalski. Just bullying J-King here.
What a top deck.
I feel like if we didn't see these AT guns going to the front line, this would be a completely different game. I feel like it would be just easy win for J-King. No issues at all.
So well played around these Stars and Stripes.
Moving the second one to the front line as well. Like, moving to the front line is a fairly easy play to notice, to go, this is a smart move. But to move both to the front line, where when you realize I need to keep committing to this, and then to stop when you reach the Nebelwerfer, going, this doesn't have ambush, this isn't worth it as much. I think that was it was really well played from Kowalski. I think he deserved that win.
Oh yeah, no. Made it super difficult for J-King. Like, no one expects to see or winning a game because you moved 2 artilleries to the front line, and look at that. They just proved here, giving Greece the first game, and like we've mentioned before, this can have quite the effect on the rest of the match. So we'll see where Greece and Canada take it from here in the standard game. Do we know the players?
Yep, it will be Zilder for Greece and Comtruce for Canada.
Go on.
I'll just say both very strong players. I'm just gonna quickly bring that up. Both very strong players.
In Greece, putting out their 2 strongest players first. Espinosa is very capable, and we could very easily see him win his game when it's his time as well. But I feel like Greece are trying to really push their advantage at the start and just get as much of an edge as they can, much like we saw France do. France really gained a strong lead, and Greece trying to do the exact same thing here and just gain this very early strong lead. I think this round 1 is really, really important to dictating how the rest of the series goes. I think it has a really big effect on teams because, like we were talking about earlier, it's becoming clear that individual player skill isn't what's important in this tournament. And it's sort of your ability to play together as a team, support each other, and sort of work through it. And I think winning game 1 gives you that ability.
Oh, yeah.
It's also about the team focus on building the decks and testing the decks, knowing what your opponent brought in the first 3 matches. Like Canada brought very similar decks, and expecting them to bring that a 4th time, and then see what can you build to counter that specific deck. And I think that's exactly what they did here, and it really paid out for them. So Next round, as you already mentioned, standard format. Comtrues playing versus Zilder for Greece.
I'm curious if Zilder is going to show off his deck again, his arty deck. I always like watching Zilder play. So I'm always
Soviet, what was it? Soviet Japan?
Soviet Japan. I'm always secretly hoping he's playing this deck because... Oh, it's Katio TK! I recognize this. I recognize this instantly. That is Katio TK.
And Comtrue's bringing resistance.
Oh, dude, your HP means nothing. Your HP means nothing to Zilder. He will set you to 12.
I mean...
I don't know if
can make it hard for Zilder to find his combo when he's...
Sure.
Usually you have a very full hand. And this sudden strike is probably going nowhere. And also this Aradu might not give him draw. I mean, there's a second.
I think you just play a right spank. If you knew it was resistance, I think you would anyway. But obviously, a lack of resistance in Comtrues is resistance. There's a cat.
The beginning of it. That's where it all starts.
That will be an interesting match.
Dude. No, I can tell so many people are unhappy about this. But I'm so happy about this. This is my dream right here. He's probably going to go for this Arado. He may go for a Scorched Earth first. He's going to find his first final push. And a sip.
Defense. Oh, the two cards look so similar. I thought it was already a second final push.
Oh no, that would be scary if you had two already.
Oh man, what? Oh, there's a first resistance, or that's not counting liberation, but what do we expect here? What? Because
I think you have
Comtrues can heal a lot.
I think you have to tank the damage as well if you're Zilder. I don't think you can afford to remove cards from your deck when there's so many key cards that you need.
Oh yeah, health, like you mentioned, health for Zelda. He does not care too much about his health.
Yeah, as long as
in most matchups.
As long as he can find his Great Patriotic War, then Comtrues' health is meaningless. But that is not a sure thing, and it's not guaranteed. He is going to have a large hand for Comtrues to life gain from. He's never going to have a large board.
Ooh, one final push gone.
That also gives away his plan too. I feel like that's a huge part of this. That tells Comtrues.
And if Comtrues doesn't know what this is already, I'd be surprised.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
It's pretty difficult. I feel like sort of no matter what you do, you feel slightly awkward for Zilder because of this liberation. He's gonna overdraw next go. Comtrues really having quite a nice answer so far. I'm less thinking about this life gain that he's gaining, but more about this overdraw. If he can continue this overdraw, it could be really good for him. Zilder now going to have to decide if he wants to tank the damage or if he wants to discard the top of his deck. I think we're going to see him... Ooh, is he going to convoy and then discard if he gets what he needs?
Second caddy.
No, he's just going to tank the damage. I think that's smart. You're a combo deck. You've already seen one of your combo pieces go. You really don't want to get rid of another.
He also probably wants to reduce that hand size.
Yeah.
Doesn't not wanna. He's scared the long range recon. Oh, there it is. There's another one.
I think you keep it here, right? There's no need to go to 50-40 health when you know there's still the Great Patriotic War. Yeah. Good turn.
7 cost.
Do you feel comfortable at 29? I think you do, right? Without Great Patriotic War, there's not really a possibility to bring the combo, even with one final push gone now.
For sure. I mean, once you only need 2 final push if you got Great Patriotic.
Pony War. Does he want to give Zelda all the combo pieces he needs?
No, no way.
Definitely not. I don't think I've ever seen or will see this matchup again. Or just getting a little board clear here.
I mean, Zelda playing a very different version of this 80k deck to what I'm used to seeing. The Sun Strikes, his mortar rifles. It seems less designed for straight OTK and more designed to be a little bit more balanced in its performance.
11 operation costs, man.
And Comtrue's full of orders here.
Oh, there it is.
But
He's probably gonna
it's not,
wait a bit.
not even close to the combo.
Well, it is close. He gets the Fury Guard, the Fury Infantry, and then Ura or a buff. He needs 2 cards and he can finish it. I think it's getting close. Because he's got the Reichsbank, he's got the Cat,
Yeah,
and he's got his buff already. He's getting... Bit by bit, he's getting there.
Last man, that for once, not the card you want to see right now. Oh man. It's tight for both situations. Zelda kind of... If you can get this combo off, there you go. There's the highlight of the Nations Cup. We've already seen some insane plays, but we did see Darkness win with Baby combo last year too, so...
Yeah, this might be part 2 of the crazy deck choices here. Resistance versus Caddy OTK. Oh my god, I'm not even sure what deck is more cancers.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, we can get rid of the resistance.
There's the Fury that Bubbles mentioned.
All he needs is one final push now?
Yeah, a final push or Ura. Ura is used as well. And
he's having 17, 11. Oh yeah, that's way enough.
I feel like commentaries are just sitting here thinking, what do I do? What do I do about this? What can I do?
Yeah, what can I do?
Yeah.
It's all orders. He knows he's got the Great Patriotic. He doesn't want to give more card draw with the For Honor. Phony War's kind of useless. It's just...
Oh man, I'm having such a good time. This is I love this so much. And it's so many people
freaking out.
So many people are going, "It's just toxic. I hate this. This is so dumb." But oh, there it is. Oh, he's got it. He's got the combo. Next turn, the combo's done. He just has to Reichsbank. Reichsbank pass. Yeah, and this is it.
But what does he do here? What can Comtrue's even do?
I don't think he can. I don't think he's sickle. Your only way of not winning this game is if Comtrue's can OTK you somehow. Don't even bother reducing your life by 1. It gives you nothing.
Yeah, especially when you have the combo in hand. Oh
Here it is.
Oh my god. We just saw what?
This deck is bonkers. Oh, Zelda, you madman. He's doing...
I wonder what... Oh, there
11k!
11k, move to the front line, that's it.
Here we go. 17 damage for 6 credits. The double buff. The Fury. I don't know if this is
he already knows.
Fight. Oh, Zelda. Oh,
the honor part. Oh, man.
At what point does Katia DK become cyberbullying again? Like, why is... Oh, this deck is busted. Oh, man.
Busted as Greece is. Leading 2-0 now.
Oh, dude, that's so...
What a way to go 2-0.
I mean, you know,
man.
You can't even complain if you're Comtrue's because you're playing Resistance, right? You can't go, oh, this deck was toxic. I got beaten by it. Well, you're too bad. It happens.
You're playing Resistance.
Yeah. That's tickled me. It's tickled me. I love it.
It was good at both sides. We saw a meme deck win and we saw Resistance lose. Yeah, we're happy.
So who's playing next for Canada? In theory, Jake King or Burrito can play now?
Not exactly a weak link in that chain. kind of just put out whoever you want.
And for Greece, yeah, it will be Mr. Espinosa.
Yeah.
Securing the chance to win here 3-0.
And is it Pure War next?
Next one is Pure War, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like assuming and this is just an assumption, assuming Espinosa's collection is a bit more limited, then I think Pure War, along with Popper, are the formats to exploit a smaller collection still, and still beat people with a higher collection, just because of what is strong there and what is meta, things like artillery and things, which are often not that high rarity.
No, yeah. Which, I mean, we've also seen, you know, you don't need a big artillery, big collection. Oh man,
it's not the size of your artillery; it's how you
perform. I mean, we saw with Kowalski. Oh man.
But also, we've learned the rules. Espinosa doesn't have to play all 3 games. Kowalski or Zilda can play one of the games here. He doesn't have to play all 3 of them.
Exactly.
I never misunderstood that. I knew that from the start. That was, you know.
Just to make it more clear for the audience, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, do we see a 3-0 here? I mean, Espinosa, he won his last match, I think, in this week.
I think it's possible. I think I'm leaning towards Canada taking this round, but I think even if Canada take this round, I don't think they're going to better take this series. I think it's going to be really, really difficult for them to take this. So long as we don't see Germany Chaika come out, I think we're fine.
Germany Chaika, that was the biggest curveball in my life, other than what we just saw last match.
I'm so excited to see the next one, and here we go.
Here we go.
Is this the final battle for the semifinals, or can Canada make the comeback here?
Espinosa going.
USA Germany.
I like to hear Berto using the psychological tactic of bringing the World Championship card back.
Ooh.
Oh, that's such a strong start.
There's the ATM again.
Yeah.
You could put Greyhound, but just gonna get Flampanzer. Oh, that's gross.
I just learned yesterday what ATM stands for.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
I'm thinking. Automatic. Is it an automatic transfer machine?
No, I think it was automatic teller machine.
I was close. I was 1 word off, and it, you know. Yeah, like a bank teller. Like the bank teller is someone that gives you money when you ask them.
Yep.
Huh. I did not know. I'm like, I knew it was a machine that gave me money when I needed money, so good enough for me.
It never I ask and it says you don't have any. And it's like, oh.
Oh.
Do you just go, air defense here? But this is really, really difficult for Espinosa. And no fault of his own, just these turn 1 Pioneers into the turn 2 Flampanzer. Turn 2 Flampanzer is just such a strong, move. It's like, you've dropped your 1-drop as soon as you could. I'm going to kill it instantly.
Yeah.
And I have this
3/3 body.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like the first Marines may be the correct way to go. I think what Berto is worried about is top decking more of these chocolate boys. Because he just top decked one of them, and I can feel it already, him complaining to somebody about top decking one. It is traditional if you top deck one of these when you have one in your hand to mess at least one person and go, oh my god, this game.
Only happens to me, no one else.
Oh yeah, it only happens to me. He could actually half-track this Pioneers just to slow Berto down a little bit. I think go for the Greyhound still if you're doing this. Try and bait the value trade.
Like it's a bit obvious, but at least it protects it. So even if it's obvious, they'll protect it. He just won't go for it at the moment. Or maybe he tries to bait it with the Greyhound is an option, but not very credit efficient. But if I'm Berto, I would definitely expect some sort of countermeasure up at this point, even if it's like for the Navy or in the Navy. Yeah, but he's just gonna go wide. He's not worried about attacking this Greyhound right now. He's not posing any sort of threat.
Pooh.
Nebel.
It's already a massive board to deal with here.
Whole Sherman here, not really having. Well, I mean, he does have the Condor soon. He has it next turn, but Berto, I mean, look at his hand right now. That's the most patriotic hand I've ever seen.
Ooh.
It's getting tough for Espinosa here.
He keeps getting these useless draws.
Not going to be doing much for him right now. Priest not doing anything. You don't want to drop a Sherman. You can half track at the Chocolate Boy. But, ugh. You definitely don't want to be putting down these infantry. These drawing infantry at this point of the game when they're just going to get taken out. He's running out of cards. So a battle of attrition here. Berto's got it. Doesn't really have too much answers right now.
I mean, if he can set up this Priest and Condor, maybe he can just value trade over and over again. But this Catalina is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, but
He also got this Hellcat as well.
You don't want to play Catalina here with almost in full hand.
Yeah, you can overdraw. It doesn't matter. You can overdraw. I would overdraw. I'd say screw these cards. I used to play 34th Infantry all the time, right? I'm happy to overdraw cards. Cards off the top of my deck gone, it's meaningless to me. They can go. Berto not agreeing though. Berto doesn't want to overdraw. What do you do here if you Espinosa? You can't really Condor, it just dies instantly. You can Panzer 4, but we're just delaying the inevitable, and this Hellcat from Berto, you can just drop the Hellcat and instantly get this trade. Finding the second Pioneer so he can again start gaining a bunch of bonus credit. This is really starting to look like Berto is just going to be able to slowly close this game out over time. And it's not like Berto doesn't know how to close out games. You know, he's a strong player. He really knows what he's doing. And the chances that Berto doesn't know how to close out this game is slim to.
Especially with Espinosa getting these draws that are, like Spooz mentioned, just quite useless. They're not doing anything at this stage of the game. There's so many threats on board. You don't have any orders, any sort of AoE. What is he top deck here?
Ooh, what?
A Martyr.
Marauder.
I guess it's good in Imperial War, right? There's no orders to remove it. If you start increasing these operation costs of units, all your opponent is going to have units, right? All your opponent is just going to have units.
Yeah.
And you can just Marauder and these units' operation costs get increased. This actually might be like the big brain play from Birth. Not that he needs it. I mean, look at this board state. There's really not much that can be done here. And you may say he's got a small hand, but he's got a Catalina. He can refill just like that. And while Catalina only draws you one extra card a turn, what it does let you do is find your Shermans. You look for your deck, you go, okay, here's a Sherman, now I can draw as many as I want. Oh, that is a sad sight to see.
Oh, a little 1-2 priest.
Oh, feels bad, man.
People ask why would you ever play the Vesp over the priest? This is why. This is why the Vesp can be more effective than the priest.
And there's the Catalina.
And there's no loot.
Oh, another one.
Oh.
It's okay. Well, it just looks like it's going to go to Singleton, but that's fine.
Oh no, he's not going for the Greyhound. With the Marines.
Oh, and look at this. Berto just...
Oh, another Sherman, yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. It lets you find your Shermans, and it lets you get rid of the things you don't want right now. I don't want a Marauder right now. That can...
I'd want it just to flex, like, hey. Sherman. And there's another. Oh no, yeah, this was a slaughter. This was a one-sided match the whole time.
I feel like the turn 1 Pioneers are just still as one of the scariest things to see. If there's a turn 1 Pioneers and you can't deal with it, I feel like it's like on par to turn 1 Cossacks. It's so terrifying, and you're like, I don't know what to do against it. And when you get it, and you know, you get a turn 1 Cossacks, you get a turn 1 Pioneers, and your opponent can't kill it, you're like, this is so dumb. I'm just ruining this guy's.
I mean, it pretty much is like Cossacks, because you have 3 credits the next turn. If you had Cossacks, you could play it.
That is true.
But there it is. 2-1. This is going to be an exact repeat of last match. We're going to see Greece take this game 3, and we're done here.
We see it. Next one for Greece will at least be Kowalski again. And we know the high win rate. I think he has to be at 90% with the first win today.
Something ridiculous like that. It is.
And so it will be hard to beat him.
He is just killing it, honestly. I feel like, you know, when you're playing against someone and they, oh, by the way, this guy's got like a 90% win rate. You're like, huh? Sorry, what?
Hold up.
I'm playing the guy with a 90% win rate.
So if you're Canada, who do you send here against Kowalski?
I think you send J-King. I think you send J-King. Although
we saw how that went last time.
Maybe, yeah, that's a rematch. Maybe you send someone who is fresh-minded in the matchup. Maybe they're not going to get at all tilted by if Kowalski gets a strong start. Because there is certainly the risk, and it's not a J-King unique risk. It happens to everyone. But you play against someone, they get a really strong start. You're like, this is really frustrating. You play against them again, they start getting a strong start. And you just go down the same path mentally. There is certain logic to putting someone who is not already had that experience once today. Yeah.
Also, when Kowalski won because of that top deck Katyusha, and if you are J-King, you always have that in mind. Oh, he got lucky there, and then maybe you play certain situations differently because you think, this guy was very lucky, and he might have a lucky day today, which is completely irrational, because luck is just there. It's not that you have a lucky day and your chances are increasing just because it's a specific day. But you might play certain different situations differently, and maybe that changes something. Yeah, you're correct.
We do like in the cards community to label certain people as lucky and unlucky, and I know.
What?
Oh, what? We already did. Those players did not spend any time.
The hand floating.
It's already turn 3.
Yeah.
Alright, what did we miss? Just the...
J-King playing Germany control countermeasures in Singleton. This is a deck we've seen before. And Kowalski just doing a Soviet-US sort of control, but with some strong early game units, like this 3-4 just sort of hounding down on J-King. So it looks like he dropped this on turn 1, then he went for the Yak turn 2, J-King responded with the Tac Trooper Strike, taking out the Yak. Now that Kowalski knows Tac Strike is gone, he can now drop this guy. Relatively safe knowledge. We'll probably see J-King bounce this 1 drop to reset its counter. But you lack healing in Germany, right? You lack healing in this German deck. So these KVs and these mini guys that I don't remember what they're called, this baby KV that does damage when you draw.
125th,
yeah, they're really scary. This 125th in the KV1. You're slowly dying, and you're like, I don't run any heal in this. Ooh. I feel like he could just go for the Hellcat.
He's Hellcat. He might be a bit worried of careless talk. Just go on face here. Already under a lot of pressure.
Is Jakin going to float the 5, or is he just going to go for the Jag bomber?
Yeah, he's going for the bomber. For the fighter, that is a Jag bomber.
Yeah. But it's like the bow fighter, which is a bomber. For the British 4-4.
Yeah, the BO fighter.
Yeah, and it's actually a bomber. Just to confuse new players a little bit, you know. Do you think he just goes face here with the Hellcat? Because it forces Jaking again to deal with it. And yeah, I think it's sensible to not to move up the guard, because you're basically saying, you can kill this guard and stop taking damage, but I'm going to hit you. Oh, this is really rough for Jaking.
It's turn 6 and he's on 7 health already on the back foot.
And there's a KV and a winter offensive in Kowalski's hand, and a severe lack of healing for Jill.
And just to top it all off, partisans, we could get a big unit, just go face with that as well. Oh my god. Choices to make here, and none of them are like truly getting you out of threat.
Kowalski just really annihilating the Canadians, and his win rate. Is he really gonna float the 5? That it's too obvious. That's way too obvious. But Kowalski just destroying everyone he faces in this Nation Cup. He's really really proving himself to be, you know, a force to be reckoned with. Is there any... Alright.
So he floats 4 credits. He's gonna heal. He knows he's playing against countermeasures. Yeah. He's not gonna risk anything.
And he moves up to 1 drop first, so he knows it's safe to move up to 2nd drop. Yeah, we'll probably see I think we'll see a Hipper come out here alongside a From the Deep. But Kowalski can drop this this 8 drop if he wants, and oh no, he can't. He wouldn't get the credits. Yeah, he'd be on 7k next turn because of Hipper. If he had 8k, he could drop this and get a Stalin for it.
Yeah, but this guy in the front line just keeps growing.
Yeah.
Once he attacks, that puts it in winter offensive range.
And also, if Jaking ever drops a unit, it's getting partisan 6k mind control. Oh no, not the KV. No.
I think he doesn't care. I mean, there's a winter offensive sitting there, and he's having lethal next turn, and no heal in Jaking's hand or deck.
Okay, just going full countermeasure
here. There you go, Kowalski.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
We already just got here. Kowalski just destroying Jaking.
I feel like we weren't even here for half the match. It just
If he found his nemesis.
And it was the same story as France versus China. And I believe this secures our finals, am I correct?
Do you know what, guys? At the beginning, we all thought Group B would be the dead group. But look at this. Both teams out of Group A in the finals. So Canada and China only can make a 3rd place tomorrow. Yeah, congrats to both nations. European very strong here in this year's Nations Cup. 2 European teams. Wow, I'm still stunned by the result here. 3-1. Very impressive from France and from Greece today. Wow, so I think I cannot sleep tonight. Looking forward to the semis tomorrow. To the finals tomorrow.
Best of 7 from both teams. It's gonna be a huge rematch.
You know, I think it would be unfair on Team Canada or not Team Canada, sorry, Team France or Team Greece to say that they don't deserve, like, they completely deserve to be here.
Oh yeah.
They've played so well, they've put in so much work, and I am buddies with a good chunk of Team Greece. I know for a fact the amount of work they've put in, and it's a lot. And Team France, I'm really confident they've put in the same amount of work. I think these teams are fully deserving of their spots in the final.
Yeah, and I like how both team captains out of Team France and Greece, with over 80% win rate, carried their team to the finals here. That's a good story. So I'm really hyped for tomorrow. 7 matches probably, and man, I'm looking forward to this. But before we have the finals, we will have the match for rank 3, Canada versus China, and then we hype things up to best of 7, France versus Greece. I can't wait for it.
So the Canada versus China match will also still be best of 5?
This will also be best of 5, yeah.
Alright, so just the finals, alright.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Wow, that was faster than I thought. We below 2 hours here today.
Yeah. I feel like some of the first matches, the ones where one match, when we saw break control, those sometimes went longer. And I mean, with this last game, turn A already. Wow, still.
Cool deck.
Who's
Well played.
Kowalski.
That one drop also did a lot of work. It was a very high threat there for J King, growing and being in the front line, and then this guy that deals 1 damage each time J King draws a card. I like it. Cool decks, and I'm really hyped what the teams are bringing tomorrow, especially in the best of 7. There's a new format, the Lonely War format, where you can only play cards from your main nation.
Ooh.
And yeah, so the teams do not have any experience what might be good there and what might the opponent find. So that match, if we go to it, might surprise us, and also the teams. What is the opponent preparing for this? So I'm also looking forward to that. Hopefully we get, I think it is game 6. So but that's strong how both teams have been today. I don't expect a 4-0 there from any of these teams, but
Yeah, no.
but who knows? I think when they faced in the group, it was a 3-2, right?
I believe so, yeah. It was on that first week where everybody's getting 3-2s.
I expect a close series there too. I think it was in 3rd week when they already have been qualified.
Oh yeah, let's just kind of go for it.
Really looking forward to it. So guys, thank you for doing this today. You did a nice, very super duper job again.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for hosting the Nation Cup, dude. I want to get it in since I'm not going to be able to say it tomorrow. I'm going to be very busy and with that, but I think a lot of cards tournaments are hosted in mind of, you know, winnings and all this. A lot of them have what's the financial in it and all this. Obviously, they're not there to make money for the organizers, but the whole thing is like the prize pool, right? And the casters are usually getting paid, the organizers are getting paid. But Nations Cup, no, it's just people doing it because they love the community, right? There's nothing being done here other than just like pure love for the game, and everyone's here because they love the game. And I think it's the most down-to-earth cards tournament we have in cards at the moment. And I love the OCCs, and they're not there for the like gain of the organizers or anything. But those are slightly different to the Nations Cup. I think the Nations Cup has a pure heart, if that makes sense.
And I think it also gives newer players a little bit of a chance to participate in a tournament, and also to get ideas, especially in the pauper format. What decks are possible when you don't have a huge collection and only with standard and limited cards, and that's what I also like. The teams are doing work for newer players, although they're doing it to be competitive against others. I also like that aspect of the Nations Cup a lot. That you see so many different formats and different decks and play styles, and wow, yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. Filder, any last words from you today?
No, I mean, just my favorite thing about Nations Cup is just that really cool feeling of being able to represent your country, because you're always watching sports teams and you're like, yeah, these guys represent their country, that's so cool. And again, whether even though it's like a bit of a smaller community, it's still really cool, like you're representing your country. This is for, yeah, you're the face of the country in this game at least, and you're able to represent them. I think it's a really cool feeling. So, but yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, and that's what we saw about Team China, right? They made the OCC less important than fighting for their country in the Nations Cup. Unfortunately, today with the lose, so only able to reach rank 3, but even that is an achievement. If you look at the other teams, what strong players are in it. Everyone that was here today in the semis really well earned it and did a great job. And whatever is happening tomorrow, it doesn't care. You have been in the semis, you let a lot of teams behind you, and that in whole is an achievement. All right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, guys, we will start same time as today, since we will first have the match China versus Canada. And after that, the big final best of 7 match, Greece versus France. And I hope you will also watch that together with whoever is casting with me tomorrow. Stay healthy. I hope you enjoyed the show and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Goodbye.